Welcome to another episode of WrenchWay Weekly, where we talk about the industry's hot topics, highlight the voice of technicians, and use that information to educate shops and dealerships to help improve the industry. This is our 12th episode, and this week we talk about evaluating potential employers, right? And we really want to know what it is that drives people to want to apply for another job, right? And when we talk about that, technicians specifically. So the actual question for this week's topic is, what is most important to you when looking for a new shop to work at? We gave you 4 choices: work environment, compensation, benefits, and career development. Based off the survey results, we got kind of an interesting spread, and one that I think will surprise some people. So the most popular in terms of what they look for when looking for a new shop was work environment, 58%. And I know these categories really align with what we do on WrenchWay and in our top shops and what we have laid out for those. And to be honest, that was one of the things that really surprised me when we put together our top shops. And really, when we were going through the criteria of what was important, I underestimated how important work environment was. Coming in second was actually a tie for second. Both got 15% of the vote, which was compensation and career development. And some of those that ranked career development a little lower were techs that frankly were a little bit older, right? They would say, hey, you know what? As I'm getting to an older age, career development isn't as big of an issue, but it is something where I think a young tech would want to be very aware of that. And then lastly, benefits. Now, there was benefits got 12% of the vote, but there was some interesting feedback on that. And we had a comment about the benefits that I thought was really cool. So this individual said, benefits. I would say benefits only because salaries are very competitive right now. Benefits are a huge deal breaker and are coming close to putting small shops out of the running because of price. Honestly, all 4 have to be right before I would commit to a new employer. And that's I think similar to what a lot of people thought with this survey. A lot of that has to fall in place, and a lot of times compensation is at the top of the list. But I think it's really, really important to understand that work environment's a big deal, right? I think automatically in our heads go to compensation right off the bat, when in reality, work environment is such an important piece. And when we talk about work environment, different comfort and creature comfort type factors, whether a tech gets their own bays or they don't have to buy all of the special tools, or there's just a lot that goes into work environment. But I think at the core, it really comes down to, do they like to work there? And there was a couple comments in here that talked about how much time is spent at work, and if you're miserable at work, it's not fun. And it doesn't matter how much money you make, if it's not fun, it's not going to be fun to go to. You're going to dread going to work, and that's not what we want as an industry, right? So compensation, obviously very important, but work environment was actually the #1 rated thing that technicians look for when they're looking for a new shop. So make sure that when you're going out, and this is more for your shop owners and managers, that you're really putting a focus on work environment. And not only that, make sure it actually reflects that, right? That the work environment is good, that people are kind to each other, they don't hate each other. And if they do, it's maybe a more in-depth management conversation to make sure that it is a good work environment. But just first and foremost, out of this entire thing, the biggest priority for you should be work environment. Make it easy on the guys and gals to come in and work, and life gets a lot easier. One thing I did want to mention that I think is pretty awesome is that we are in the midst of launching a new app, and it's actually named WrenchWay Insider. And so you can go to the App Store, you can go to Google Play Store and find the WrenchWay Insider app. Currently, it's by invite only, so you can email us at info@finderwrench.com. I info@wrenchway.com and request that you get an invite. We're trying to keep this, we are keeping this to industry folks, so technicians, managers, really has to be in the area. But what you can do, and what's really cool about this app in general, is that you're able to play games and win really cool prizes. So really it's an extension of what we've already done with WrenchWay Insiders, but really kind of putting that on steroids. So a couple quick points, I guess, is that you go out to the app, you'll see challenges. So a list of challenges that we will put out there. And those challenges could range in all sorts of different ways, right? It could be a question on work environment, right? It's really trying to get that feedback, but each time you answer, you get points and then get entered into play a couple of games. First off, high, low, where basically you just pick a card and see if it's higher or lower. And then that ultimately gets you entered into a Queen of Hearts game, which can really make some big money off of that. So a lot of cool things happening right now with the app. If you want to check it out, feel free to let us know. We'll get an invite sent out to you. Lastly is the actual prize for this week. And this week's winner is going to win a $50 Snap-on Tools gift card, which is always awesome, right? Want to thank everybody that took the time to put the thought and really the feedback in the Insiders group, because it really, really is helpful. And it does help us develop content that we can use to educate the industry. So this week's prize of that $50 Snap-on Tools gift card is our WrenchWay Insider winner, Vincent DiPilato. Hopefully I'm saying your last name right, Vincent. Vincent DiPilato, congratulations on your $50 Snap-on Tools gift card. Put it to good use. I'm sure that you've got plenty of good options for that. Next week, we're doing something a little bit different in that we're doing more of a, I'd say, untraditional gift or giveaway, and that is a Hoonigan zip hoodie. So if you don't know who Hoonigan is, they do a lot of cool videos and really take some cars and just do some crazy stuff with them. So a Hoonigan zip hoodie, pretty cool looking. I think a lot of you will really like that. So if you'd like to be entered to win that zip up hoodie, that Hoonigan zip up hoodie, can't talk, go to WrenchWay to sign up to become a WrenchWay Insider at wrenchway.com/WrenchWay-Insiders. You can also go to WrenchWay.com. Under the resources tab, it shows a tab for signing up to be an insider. And then you can also still provide us feedback on LinkedIn and Facebook, and we'll take that feedback into consideration, but you're not eligible to win the prizes. So may as well get out there. It's risk-free. It's completely anonymous. Nobody knows what your answers are. We could read one of the answers on WrenchWay Weekly, but ultimately it's very private, and you get a chance to win prizes. So pretty cool stuff. Next week's topic, and one that I am really internally conflicted about, and I really want to understand what people think of this, and that is the technician versus mechanic debate, right? And we're going to keep this question really simple. So we're going to ask, what do you prefer being called? A technician, a mechanic, or something else? And for me, it's going to be really, really fascinating to dive into this, because there are really, really strong arguments for both. And I can't wait to hear your feedback and really decipher what we have to say. So we'll be sending an email out to all of our WrenchWay Insiders this afternoon with a link to the survey. We'll also post the link on our social pages, so on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. But make sure you go check that out. Super easy to sign up to become a WrenchWay Insider. Give us your feedback on whether you want to be called a technician or a mechanic. I think it's really, really important to how we do things moving forward, and I think we all need to kind of get on the same page. So hopefully this helps create some discussion there. Lastly, a favor, if you could go out to WrenchWay on YouTube, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of these episodes of WrenchWay Weekly. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. As always, appreciate all of you. The WrenchWay Insiders are amazing. It's a group that just keeps growing and growing and growing, and we're really getting some cool prizes lined up and hopefully be able to reward you for all of the work of coming in and giving us feedback, even though it's pretty easy. Take care. Have a good week.